Hey everybody, how's it going? It is Matt and it is finally Fiendish Friday. Yes, folks, TGIF is finally upon us. First and foremost, before I roll on to anything, I want to wish each and every one of you a great morning, evening, dawn, day, or dusk, all that lovely stuff, because life really is too short as is. Do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe. I love seeing you guys whenever I decide to get the time to do a review or jabber on about a movie for about 10 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes-ish. But anyways, also, do me a really huge favor and like, share, and subscribe, and check out the information in the description box. I give you a little bit bigger of a taste in there. I give you your brief synopsis, your starring cast, runtime of the cut I am watching, along with an MPAA rating, if there is one that exists, some trivia if there's anything worthwhile of mentioning, and then, of course, I like to put a link for either the trailer or the from a scene itself. You know, I try to give you a bigger taste on that one, so hopefully it will help you decide on if you wish to check out today's film. All right, now that I got all that out of the way, let's roll on to the film of the day. And this one is a magical masterpiece from 1974, and it is none other than Blood for Dracula. Yes, I am doing a special review on this one because of my good friend Justin Gonzalez asked me to review this. So I am happily doing this one for him. And as you see down here with this little logo, that means that this came out from the fine folks over at Severin Films. They did an amazing job with this release, just to let you know. It is a slipcover. You get some fancy artwork inside. 3 discs, by the way. Yep, I dropped one of my stickers that I got. But it also comes with this little card here. Let me grab that sticker, throw that back in there before I lose it. But anyways, it is the Blu-ray DVD soundtrack combination. So that's why you got the 3 discs in there. I highly recommend picking this one up. It is a little pricier. This is especially for people that like a little bit of a slow burn, because this one is not a fast-paced film at all, but it is still very, very good. Now, as far as special features go, they packed this thing to the gills with special features with it over there at Severin. So that is another key bonus that is from this masterpiece, as I like to call it. Yes. Now, what exactly is this about? It's about, let's see here. Dracula is he's withered away. He's emaciated looking. He's very, looks like he's had better days. He is very sickly, and he's very anorexic looking. As a matter of fact, Udo Kier, if that's how it's pronounced, but he plays Dracula himself, and he dropped 20 pounds to play the role of Count Dracula in this, so he could look sickly enough to where people were believing it. And so he goes on a trip to Italy, looking for virgins. Yes, I said virgins. They sometimes pronounce it as virgins, and sometimes they pronounce it as virgins. It is kind of funny. It makes me giggle every time. But they are on their way to Italy to find him some classy bride, so that he can finally feast on a virgin's blood, so it'll help regenerate everything that is wrong with him. It'll help alleviate all the pain he's in, and it'll also reverse his aging process that he has been going through. Because at the very beginning of the film, you see him put contacts on, put makeup on. He even paints his hair color on, because his hair color is very wiry white hair color. So it is an interesting tale on how to take an interesting take on Dracula. And so he gets to Italy with his companion, they are staying at this villa there that has a family who used to have a lot of prestige, but they are now broke, and they are trying their best to get out of debt and hopefully marry off one of their daughters to somebody who's rich. Along comes Count Dracula. They notice that he's not feeling well right from the get-go. He quickly finds out that one by one, all these daughters that are allegedly virgins are actually tainted. They've actually had sex, and he can only control them at that point. He cannot regenerate himself because of it. And so after each and every one of those, after he feasts on them, he gets extremely sick, and you have kind of extended throw-up scenes. It totally adds to the story, so if you're squeamish about vomiting, it's just blood, fake blood, by the way. So definitely don't let that, dissuade you, because it's not like you're rolling into a Lucifer Valentine film. But anyways, and by the way, I forgot to mention this at the beginning. This is directed by Paul Morrissey, and it is also produced by none other than the late great Andy Warhol. So it has some history to it as well. Now, this one was possibly going to go on the UK BBFC's Video Nasties list. It just narrowly escaped it. The other Paul Morrissey film from Andy Warhol did not, and that was Flesh for Frankenstein, which the fine folks over at Vinegar Syndrome will be releasing that here in the near future, and you can bet that I will be picking that one up and probably more than likely doing a review on it, because it's a video nasty. All right, back to the story. So he's finding out that all these girls are no longer virgins, and his companion, his Igor type character, who is very stern, and he's kind of a dick. He goes to town trying to find some local virgins, and see if hopefully he can help out his master, the Count. And while he's there, you do get a magical cameo from none other than the Roman Polanski, where he is rocking a mustache. So it took me a couple of watches before I realized, like, I had to rewind it and play it numerous times to make sure that was him. And sure as shit, yeah, that's Roman Polanski. As most of you know, he is was on the run, or is on the run. I don't know. Don't really care. I think Polanski films are boring as shit. But either way, that's a whole nother story. But Udo Kier finally he's finding out one by one that these girls are no longer virgins. There is a farmhand that lives there, who happens to be very pro-communist, because he has they go to each of these girls, they go to his quarters, which is a little shack out on the farmland. They all take turns going out there, except for two of them. And but the other two they go out there and they're having sex with this farmhand. And then what I was getting ready to mention there with the pro-communism thing, once you're inside, you see the Soviet Union's hammer and sickle on the wall, which automatically it's like, he's pro-communist. Excuse me. But anyways, he is not only pro-communism, he is also pro-changing of the guard. He wants things to be much different than what they were. And then hopefully monarchies and things like that will not exist anymore. It's very, very... He's a kind of your hero type, even though he's clearly flawed. But you eventually find out that the youngest girl is 14 and she's never been married. She is 100% pure. They come up with a scheme to go and drain her. Unfortunately, the farmhand gets a hold of her, and at one point before he did, he even said, "Oh, I'd like to get my hands on her, or like rape her, or something like that." It was something like, "Holy crap, did you just say that, dude?" one of those kind of comments. But either way, he eventually forces her up against the wall and takes her virginity. In turn, Dracula comes out, and the grossest scene of the whole movie, he is eating her, like sucking up the blood from her hymen and stuff like that. Helps him a little bit, but not a whole lot. He eventually finds out that the fourth daughter, she was married, but she had never ever had coitus and never had sex with her husband at the time. So she eventually feeds him the blood. He is regenerated. At this moment, we are being chased. Our Count Dracula is being chased by our farmhand, and he happens to be carrying an axe, and he cuts off his limbs one by one while chasing him around. It does get quite comical watching him run around without any arms. Eventually rolls to no legs, and and then he spikes him. Interesting enough story. I would say on any kind of rating scale, on the 1 through 5 scale, I would give this a total 4.5. This is a very, very, very good movie in my opinion. I believe it is above average, and I would like some of my connoisseurs of horror to check this one out. This one's not going to be for I want to say, I don't like to use the word newbies, but people that are more mainstreamy, they probably will not like this, just to let you know. All right, guys, I love your faces as always. I hope each and every one of you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you hopefully sometime next week with another review or 2 or maybe 3. I don't know, man. My schedule is starting to get a little wonky. All right, love your faces.